Okay.
Great. Nice.
You're going to introduce yourself?
This must be awkward, all in theater setting again, while you just were jumping around and moving, I suppose.
Okay, well, participants, I was looking for people to participate, people who have trained people who have a lot of experience in this. And I actually contacted Jessica when I joined AIN about 9 months ago, something like that. And she was one of the first women that I talked to on Facebook, and we had a nice conversation. And I found out that she trains a lot of people. She's trained more than 150 people to become trainers, and Raymond trained Jessica. Is that correct? Raymond? Yeah. So, a woman with a lot of knowledge, Dutch woman, and she is going to talk a little bit about a nice angle that we have, which is the digital world, which we haven't really touched on too much here. And this is building a digital, I don't know, what word did you say? Is it just community, that word, or it's like tribe or?
Yeah, tribe, digital tribe. Yeah, well, digital is a broad word nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about agility more.
Great. So a big round of applause for Jessica.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for inviting me, Jessica and Raymond, for all the hassle to make this a digital experience for all of us and a global experience. And of course, yeah, this is the new way of work and also how I work as of today more and more. And I actually enjoy it. I was always a bit skeptical, like, oh, okay, if you use a computer, then it's not engaging and you cannot really do exercises. But none of that is true, actually. We do quite some exercises online. Anyhow, thank you so much for signing up for this. And I hope you had an amazing experience already at IEN. I think this is the final day, morning time. So you still have some sessions coming up. I'm actually calling in from Bali now, and it's, what time is it? It is almost 6 o'clock in the evening. So therefore it's a bit dark in the background. And yeah, I'm here in Bali for a few months to focus on my work and also to experiment a little bit with how agile I am. And if I'm correct, you see the Get Agile in the digital age screen right now. If not, let me know, Raymond, somehow that you don't see my PowerPoint right now, but I think that's the case. Yep, cool. You can see it, right?
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, today this is a really broad topic. I only have 20 minutes, which is really mission impossible, but I love that. So let's do it. So Get Agile in the digital marketplace. 5 marketing practices, and marketing is between brackets because I really believe that marketing nowadays is more about, yeah, being your authentic self and finding your purpose and share added value, and then you will attract the people that love that value and you co-create more value together, and then you can exponentially grow as a business. So this is me in a yoga position, and of course it's like a metaphor, like agile body, an agile mindset. And how agile are you as a trainer, you know, when shit hits the fan or you have to deal with technique like today and things do not work out. How do you deal with that? Are you embracing the moment? Can you find your ways around it and seize opportunities maybe even? So that's why I called it Get Agile. It's a metaphor for many things. Why am I here at an applied improvisation summit online in my case? It's that, yeah, I have a background also in improvisation theater. But if people ask me, hey, can you introduce yourself in a funny way, then it would be in a powerful way. Then it would be, hey, I'm Jazz. I picked jazz because my dad is a jazz musician and I love improvising in my life, in my business, and also, yeah, as a professional in my careers before. I really love that there's limited, yeah, just minimum frames, so I can explore the maximum innovation in these minimal frames. I have a background working for the United Nations, for various organizations that are very prestigious, and I was really grateful for having that experience. But for me, it was too narrow, too bureaucratic, and I felt I was choking. So therefore, yeah, I started to work my ways around it. I'm entrepreneurial, I'm ABC, what can I do with it? And now, yeah, I've created with practitioners from around the world, a community and an academy that trains them in practices, leadership practices or next level leadership practices to unlock the potential from individuals within organizations, businesses and communities. And yeah, and of course also next to the impact that we make, to also scale and thrive their business. And that's really cool, because I can tell you the more people join the community, the more valuable it becomes, and the more the more impact we have all together. So that's quite amazing. So we're growing, also because we have academy, so we share videos so people can watch them and apply some practices maybe that you've already experienced today. Later on I might tap into what's applied improv in this sense and what's not. But let's get started with the first best practice on marketing sense. And I hope I will do it within 15 minutes. So that's the first question you should ask yourself. What are you selling, right? What is your service about? And a lot of people use frameworks. I remember Raymond, of course, used the play model. You have Viv that works with facilitation skills. Then you have someone else in San Francisco, I forgot her name. She talks about bendable brain. You know, but what are you selling? And in our case, it's really difficult to explain that. And especially if you want to reach out for those people that could really benefit from it, but do not have a clue what it is, then I would really suggest to provide as many experience as possible. So what we did is to, with our community, for example, we provide as many mini sessions as we can. So we started off 5 years ago in various co-work spaces across the world, in India, in Belgium, in Germany, and the Netherlands. And we just hosted 30-minute sessions between the lunch break. Between the lunch break. This gave us the opportunity to really practice our skills, to make more flying hours, as we say, and also to give people the experience what we actually do and how it actually resonates with them during the day. Some people felt more vital, other people felt that they could exchange skills, other people felt, wow, this is making me more innovative, and it's really providing me an agile brain, so to speak. Because within 20 minutes, we did exercises that would really unlock those things. And after that, we tried to frame it. And as of today, we call it Host. Human energy is what we unlock. Openness to engage. The attitude for people to create likability. For them to share added value, networks, knowledge, and skills. Complementary, that really lifts you to the next level. And also to, do more than only that, also to provide enduring systemic transformation that resonates on the individual level, but also on the cultural level. So all these layers, and that's what we call systemic. So that's what we did. So I would really advise you, if you just started, or maybe you're already very experienced, do not only go for the workshops that are paid, but try to schedule in your agenda, maybe once a week or once a month, an opportunity for you just to have 1 hour session for you to design it and to also practice yourself. How do you like to frame it, etc. Also with the community, you know, people already are a member, but I really like them to make flying hours, as we call it, becomes a term now, and to really make the flying hours with these practices. So they meet up once a month in the Netherlands still, but soon this will also be in Mexico. In order to make those flying hours and also to connect as a community. And as of today, I'm sure that in this picture is Alice, and there's Olivia and Marlene, and there's John. Actually, Marlene is watching right now. That these people will, when they give each other a call or a text message, they're very easily connected to collaborate in or companies, for example. So it also creates partnerships. So it's not only you attract your target audience, but also your tribe, for people to partner up, to get new ideas, etc. So I would really suggest go out there. The second thing is, what are you doing? Sometimes we just don't know and we just do it. And then it's all about how you reflect with your audience. So often I provide an experience, and after that, through a certain system, I will not go into that right now, I will say, hey, what was your experience and how does it work for you and what can you do tomorrow with it? So I want to be very pragmatic, right? I'm a pragmatic idealist, I think. I don't want to be in the moment, ooh, ah. I also want to see steps, and that really there's a cultural change we provide, or somebody is just flipping their mindset. There's a lot of stuff that happened because of these 30-minute sessions that we hosted before. So I know within 30 minutes, you can already unlock the potential of 500 people in one room if you want to, if you have a mic, of course, and the equipment to do so. So for example, we use minimum structure and maximum initiative, like I said, maximum freedom. So after the sessions, often I refer to our AGILE framework. And I've tested this just because I found the terminology AGILE really suitable. You know, it's something else than flexible, because if you have an elastic and you tweak it, it will go back to its old origin shape. But Agile is really about, yeah, you can call it bendable, to create something new. And I think that's what we need as of today. We need new approaches, new mindsets almost, and cultures to come up with new collaborations, new products, new services that are way more human-centered. So I only use this framework, and I ask people, hey, after a session, pick one of the 5 and what really resonates with you. Did you feel you became more generous, or another person became more generous? How does it resonate with you? Marlene in the session said, wow, I really feel I want to be more intuitive in my work because everything is so systemic, organized, and I'm done with that. So she works in healthcare, so she wants to be really more focused on the patient, on the field, etc. So that's a nice example of how your participants can react to such a framework and give it a little bit more structure than if you would just leave it out in the open and just as an experience. The host method I already explained a bit. And I'm not a fan of all these bingo words, as they say, adjectives, or how do you call it? But yeah, people really craved for framework, and now, yeah, they are walking away with it and they share that they apply the host method. Well, of course, from a marketing perspective, this is amazing. But I would have never thought that, because I'm a creator and I always want to invent something new. I don't like the word method, but yeah, people love it. So I stick with it now. Second point, purpose. Why do you do what you do? And how do you spread the word? This is like an exercise that can take one day to apply with you guys. But just to put it really briefly, like go back to your own childhood, go back to your own education. What did you learn? What did you love to do? And why do you want to apply, in this case, applied improvisation tools? What do you want to reach out for? What do you want to change? What do you want to transform? And I know exactly what one I want to transform, because when I used to work in the United Nations, I thought I would contribute to world peace. And later on, I figured out from my perspective that the organization was actually killing me. And I saw around me, it was a very toxic environment. So for me, how can you treat your staff in such a hierarchical, bureaucratical way, and at the same time, try to generate world peace? And I'm biased. I'm just one individual talking about the UN right now. And I'm sure there's a lot of people having a great time, which is fine. But I was really disappointed by that. So yeah, how can we host transformations? How can we move from the systemic way of organizing things, leadership, the old paradigm, to the new paradigm? So what is your purpose? You know, if we would have time, I would love to do an exercise right now, because it's not that difficult then to talk from your heart, to be grounded, and people feel like, oh, what she's doing, I want that too. And that might be different from me, right? Maybe you work with education, healthcare, maybe you work with finance systems. That's all cool and amazing. It's just about your own story in that sense. So another level of purpose is, why are we doing this as IEN, right? Why am I doing this with my community of Host2Transform practitioners? It's nice to have an umbrella to work under. And especially in my case, because I'm running a business. I'm not a freelancer just focusing on one target audience, but I'm focusing on multiple target audiences. We have people from healthcare, from governments, from businesses, from banks joining the community. So they all have a different nuance to the story, of course. So I always lean back on the whys. Is that one of them is that, I don't know if you look around you, but there's more and more people that are depressed or having a burnout and are lost in what they really want. They feel that their energy is getting drained every day at work, or they feel even more bored out, as they say. They feel bored because the work is not challenging them. You see that more and more and more. And of course, we're also focusing on it more so we get more data about these things, I know, but in general, there's a lot of depression and people not knowing and feeling lost. And I think that's a miss. Yeah, there's potential that is unlocked, and I love to work and help people with that, and my community as well, or our community. And then the second part is exponential decrease of business cycles. I think Paul Jackson also refers to this a lot. Companies need to reinvent themselves. I think there's an investigation of AGILE that says that what was it again, like business cycles have decreased for 66%. So normally a business would have a well marketing position, a monopoly for at least 65 years. And as of today, it's only 15 years. So it's decreased immensely. Even Google doesn't know if they are still in the market in 15 years from now. So they also have to reinvent themselves 24/7. Well, our practices, as you might know, are all about process innovation, reinventing yourself as an individual, as an organization, as a community, etc. So therefore our skills are really important. And the final one is the digital world. People are more connected. Culture's getting connected, but also clashed. There's a lot of multinationals that are coping with that. They have different headquarters around the world, and they find it really difficult to communicate across these headquarters, especially when they were digital. So how can you solve that? Well, our practices are also really equipped for that, also online. So that's good to know. So really about, maybe these 3 whys could also help you to trigger a potential customer to say, hey, how is the potential doing in your organization? How much is unlocked and how much is not unlocked, or you can write about it. Anyway, there's a lot to say about these things. And then the third one, who's your tribe? I'm really bold nowadays. I say no to customers and I say yes to customers, because I want to work only with customers that already recognize that they want to change, that they want to innovate and feel that they have to be front runners. I want to work with these people. For example, I had the honor to be invited at the Health Innovation School to give a 1-hour session. Hey, Marlene is on the back in this picture. She's also joining the session now. And that was really cool. I felt like, I'm so grateful that these people, this new school is actually approaching me to provide a session. They get it, they understand that unlocking agile mindset, behaviors, and cultures is really important to create the conditions for innovations to occur, because you can have the technology innovation, you can have a beautiful organization with a lot of resources, but if the culture is not in place, you can do everything, but people do not want to change or not collaborate or communicate in an engaging way. So be really true. Who's your tribe? Who you like to work for? Is it only education? Is it mixed? Is it, ask yourself this question. And dare to innovate also. I do not say I am applied improviser. I don't really use that word. And I saw that already online, that the first tip is don't use applied improv. And I agree. I really use my background. I have a background in science. I'm a sociologist, business anthropologist. So I use all those tools and theories and frameworks that I have in me already. It's like a little gift. It's already in me, so not why using it. I also use art. Well, that's improvisation theater. I use the social innovation part of me. I did a lot of social funding and projects, and the profit of our projects also goes partially to social empowerment projects. And a business. I have lectured at Nairobi University. Anyway, it's a university. I was there for 2 years. And so I also have a business background. So I embrace blended learning. And this is kind of my background, but I also apply the background of the community, of course. It would be a shame if we leave that resources unlocked. So yeah, we become a blended community, and there's not one truth. We work with minimum frameworks in order to create some certainty to work with, but at the same time, we're also super agile in the moment. And the final one is just do it. Go out there before you're ready. You know, nobody explained me told me one day that I would be doing this, you know. I wouldn't even have dared to dream that I could live abroad and have a really cool, company that is growing and with amazing people. Really my tribe, like-minded people that could be my best friends, you know. It sounds maybe cheesy, but it's true. And it's just because I am me. And go out there, try something. Maybe I saw someone joining this conference with a dance background. I saw someone joining from an organizational background. Use your own tools, really be you, and you will attract your tribe. And what happens next is that, you know, people start to write about you. This is the Deutsche Welle writing about us, top stories, and that we are bridging the gap of work isolation in the workspace. Really cool articles and invitations on panels. This is, by the way, not to brag, but if you just go out there, people can reach out for you, and then amazing things can happen. This is India, by the way. I did a collision session, and it was just an amazing experience. And it made me agile as a trainer consultant, because I don't think there's just one name for it. And I can approach organizations from the strategic point of view, but also from the operation, and that's gold, to connect those multi-governance levels. Well, there's so much to say. Thank you so much for listening. I would say, let's stay connected. And if you go to Host2Transform, you can apply the method yourself. It's free. If you have questions, or you're curious, or maybe you're enthusiastic to join our tribe, just send me an email and we'll explain you a little bit more. We can have a one-on-one call as well if you like. And I wish you a lovely day at the conference.
Thank you, Jessica. That was a lot of information.
Am I in the time still?
You are amazing. Yeah.
Well,
Does any,
the bell is ringing.
oh, the bell's ringing. The church bell is ringing. So we're off.
Wow, I did it. I'm so sorry if this was a waterfall, but difficult.
Thank you. I think that was super wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go on screen. Can I see you guys? I can see you now. Cool.
Okay. Great. Thank you
I don't
very
know
much.
if there's questions, but there's no time, I guess. But I'll leave it up to you, Jessica.
Does anyone have
If
questions?
anyone has questions, go on.
When we start with this presentation. So if anyone has questions for Jessica, we have some time.
And if there are any questions afterwards, we will relay them to you at this time.
I hear you very in the background. Yeah, you can send them later. Is that what you said?
If there are any questions afterwards, we will relay them to you.
Yeah. Email then. Yeah, sure. Amazing. Okay. This is really funny. Normally, I'm like doing a shake to wrap up or something. Thank you so much for listening, and enjoy your day.